All right, let me try to break this down clearly. I know most of you understand this probably better than I do. But historically, tyrannies look invincible. And they tell everybody, oh, there's no depression. Oh, this isn't a war. Oh, our dear leader is infallible. Oh, no one will ever defeat them. The elite is invincible. Until finally people underground criticize the system, point out its lies, point out its fraud. You've always got maybe 30, 40% of the population that'll go with the establishment view because they are so dumbed down and cowardly and don't respect themselves, so they feel powerful when they go with the establishment. But finally, when they see the mass of the public wake up, they will then join with the public as well. And so suddenly you will have the vast majority of people turning against the system and believing nothing it says. And generally, historically, propagandists that run the systems, if you study Joseph Goebbels and others, they will actually intensify the lying. So I never said there was a red line, even though he gave a press conference saying, America and I have set specific red lines, and we've told everybody in the region and our allies, this is it, it's in stone, you cross it, it's on. 1 year later, I never said that. How dare you say I said that? 5 days ago, Saturday, we will never have boots on the ground. You have my firm pledge. 4 days later, yesterday, of course we need boots on the ground. 75,000 troops. It's now coming out that Obamacare is not going to just double, but in many states triple your premium. There is no free health care. There was free health care under charity before. It's all gone. It's going to be gone now. The free health care will now be gone. You will now not get the surgery. You'll get a cane for your knee. You will not get eye surgery. You'll get a cane again. It's all on record. You're going to lose everything. Written by foreign banks. Everything. New story out, up on Infowars.com. It's up on DrudgeReport.com, The Examiner out of Washington. Warning, D.C. cops under orders to arrest tourists with empty bullet casings. You know, people wear empty bullet casings around their necks or they have them on their keychain or whatever. You're going to jail, and the police have been ordered. You be on the lookout for tourists that don't know. We want to fill our jails with the scum Americans. Let me tell you, when you're in D.C., the cops go out of their way, and I videotaped this and put the videos out there on YouTube. They'll see a little kid with a camera. They'll walk over and say, you know you're not allowed to have that? Start screaming at the parents because they've been given orders. You let the public know they're scum. It came out in the Washington Times about 6 years ago that people that park their cars legally, police and tow trucks that off-duty own the tow truck companies, they're just mafia, they pull up in uniform and were taking cars, in one case, when the news caught them, at McDonald's, legally parked, going in to eat the GMO stuff, and you come out, and the cops, and the person said, what are you doing? And the cops get out and put a gun to your head. They're nothing but bandits, folks. And they're going to rule this country. It's theirs now. They're going to take your pensions. They're going to pull your wife over and take the money out of her purse. They're going to take it all. In Chicago, in New York, in D.C., in L.A., everywhere the New World Order is in control, they're going to take. There's a new video out of a cameraman on a street corner, and the cop walks up, it's on Infowars.com, and says, I'm going to smash your teeth in with that camera. And you know what all over the country they do? They show you who you are, just like they're going to show everybody that they run Al-Qaeda, and they run the chemical attacks, and they run the whole thing right now. They're going to show you. Of course, the truth is everybody's just waking up, and we're going to show the New World Order. You thugs thought Americans were cowards. Let me give you a little real insight on the American people. The American people haven't been cowards. They've been too busy working, paying the private Federal Reserve via the IRS. They've been too busy drugged up on all the GMO and the fluoride in the water. They haven't been afraid of all your intimidation. They've been too busy or too lazy. But now you're going to shove people around a little too much, aren't you? But, I mean, that's what I'm talking about, is people are waking up and saying, no, look at this right here. But when you go into D.C., folks, you're there to be preyed upon by a criminal kleptocracy. You understand that? And they'd have the whole country like D.C. if they could. A bunch of criminals paid for by taxpayer money with armed guards in armored fortresses with a disarmed slave population. Remember the famous video came out last year? A family asked the police politely for directions, tourist, and the cop goes, pull over, I'm going to arrest you for asking me directions. I mean, it's not like New York where they say, am I a phone book, and yell at you. They go, you know what? I'm going to take your whole family to jail, and CPS is going to take your kids. But, sir, I just asked directions politely. You pull over, scum, right now.
Jakari Jackson here, and I want to talk to you for a second about water. You know about ProPure, our flagship water purification system, but check out some of our portable water filter products at InfoWarsStore.com. The clearly filtered water pitcher. Also, for those of you on the go, we have the Athlete Edition filtered water bottle and the RAD Eliminator Pro filtered sports bottle that removes radiation. And keep in mind, we have replacement filters for all of these products. The ever-popular grab-and-go bag favorite, the Life Straw, the Crystal Quest shower filter system, and the Aquapod kit, great for mass storage of water. And while you're at the InfoWars shop, pick up a copy of our latest book, 31 Days to Survival. You can find all this and more at the InfoWarsStore.com, and don't forget it's your support that funds our operation. Sign up for our free newsletter at InfoWars.com/newsletter.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back live. Here's some of the headlines up on Infowars.com. Report, China sends warships to coast of Syria. Russia warns of nuke disaster if Syria attacked. Atrocities committed by Syrian protesters, as CNN calls them. Chopping people's heads off is protesting. Is this what we fight for? We've got a movie star coming out, Miss Milano, doing a fake sex tape pushing the Syrian war. Man, those fake liberals in Hollywood are the scum of the planet. Continuing the Syrian war, what you're not being told by Zero Hedge. Pentagon knew in 2012 it would take 75,000 ground troops to secure Syria's chemical weapons facilities, bare minimum. John Kerry steals Wolfowitz's lines for Syria war. 2 members of Congress join 14 others in saying that we need to impeach Obama, and 2 other members join them in saying that we don't want to be al-Qaeda's Air Force. So that line is definitely getting picked up. And some of the news up on DrudgeReport.com. Russia claims 100-page report blaming Syrian rebels for chemical weapons attack. I mentioned that. It's out of McClatchy. I'm not tooting our horn. Back in March, the Russians put out a smaller report that this is based on. It was sent to the United States in July. We covered it again. We covered this again yesterday. Now it's national news with McClatchy mirroring our report. By the way, I noticed trolls in our article saying we were liars yesterday. We're not lying about any of this. People want to sit there and claim we're making stuff up. By the way, I was thinking this morning, I didn't really get scared, but I realized how much danger I'm probably in, so we need your prayers. That we broke 2 days ago now on Tuesday evening. It's now Thursday morning, or Thursday afternoon in some time zones. Our source at the Air Force Base in West Texas, that a bunch of nuclear warheads that weren't supposed to even be on the base under treaty since the mid-'80s were loaded on trucks and driven out, and they asked the truck driver, where's this going? Because everybody was so freaked out, and they said, South Carolina. And I mean, that's a real source known by us that was in charge of something. I'll just leave it at that, okay? I mean, I'm sure the government's got everything tapped. We were told this over the phone and by text, so the government even knows who it is. And the whole point is, they had the whole Minot, North Dakota deal where the cruise missiles came up missing. They had a whole congressional investigation, and a bunch of people on the base got killed who were witnesses that saw it. And, I mean, our source is not lying. And they were told they were nuclear weapons. I mean, and I started saying to myself, let's just say they were different warheads. Maybe they were mistaken. You know, I don't want to believe this myself. I don't want to be the one breaking this. And that's why I was jogging down the hike and bike trail this morning. I had to just sit down for a minute and just think. I was like, man, I don't like being in this position. And I don't mean to sit here and talk about myself on the show. It's just that this is fantastical that our government's hijacked by ruthless, crazy banks. They run Al-Qaeda. They're shelling Christian villages as we speak. The leftists are attacking me, saying I'm racist because I'm covering it, and calling me redneck, which is really racist. You've got Obama running around saying he never said there were red lines, saying there'll be no boots on the ground, when Kerry says, yeah, they need authorization because that may be needed if Syria implodes, when they're trying to implode it. The NSA spying on everyone. I told you years ago, the NSA spying on gun owners, creating databases. Now the NRA has evidence and is suing over it, according to the Hill newspaper. NRA joins ACLU lawsuit, claims NSA starting gun registry. Well, of course they have a gun registry. And of course they spy on everybody. And of course the DEA is in the NSA when you're on the phone talking about marijuana. Of course it's all illegal. Of course they don't get warrants. They are a criminal group, ladies and gentlemen. And then we have the spectacle of Barack Obama in Sweden yesterday before he got on the plane and flew into St. Petersburg in Russia for the G20 summit. And a reporter who obviously is starstruck and really thinks this is a liberal god. They're so liberal in Sweden, and they mean well. They would put their kids, you know, in a garbage disposal. They were told to do it and told it was liberal. She's like, what about the dilemma? You have spoken for peace and in the war. How you do it? Oh, no, my... And you've got Obama up there on the podium. I mean, Obama is a front man reading off a teleprompter, meant to sell the idea that he's a Peace Prize winner, given a Peace Prize when he never had done anything for peace, ever. And now they have orchestrated the Arab Spring to put radicals in every secular country and wreck them so they can slaughter Christians and Muslim minorities. I mean, they're really doing it. That's what they want to do. That's who these control freaks are, folks. They want to ban Christianity. Germany's banned homeschooling since World War II under Hitler and arrest people and takes their kids and drugs them. And when you flee to America and try to get political asylum, Eric Holder puts you on a plane back to Berlin to be arrested. These people are evil. I mean, we're not just saying that. They're bad. They hate you. They hate private property not in their hands. They hate the fact you're armed and don't live in a crime syndicate like they do where you're fed on. And the criminals then rob your house and pay loot to the police who then fence the money up. I mean, Bloomberg and all these people, the evidence is overwhelming, folks. They're all part of it. They're criminals. They don't want you being armed. They don't want low crime rates. They live in armored compounds with 15 bodyguards. They enjoy you living in fear. They enjoy women being raped every night, walking back from work in New York and can't protect themselves. They love it, and they're going to keep doing it. They are criminals. Criminals are criminals because they have criminal mindsets. They are master criminals filled with criminal energy. And it's going to take liberty energy and true warrior energy who values honor and who values goodness. We have to smash these cockroaches. And to do that, first, you've got to stand up and say, I don't care what you do to me, you maggots. I know you're the scum of the earth, and I'm coming after you with the pen, which is mightier than the sword, and we are going to lay waste to you frauds. So do whatever you're going to do. We're committing. And it's a good feeling to be driving this train. And you're driving your train out there as well of resistance. And just to slam down the lever. And just say, I'm going full speed ahead into the enemy. And just sit there, hopping around in the carriage of that thing with bloodshot eyes staring out the front visor. I mean, that's what life's all about, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to ram these people down. We're going to run over them. Now, if people are freaked out by this, folks, you're freaked out by the spirit of liberty. Paul Revere and others wrote all up and down the colony saying, get your firearms and get ready to kill people. That's what to arms, the redcoats are coming means. Get your guns, get ready to kill. People are like, oh, what a great patriot. I get up there with Piers Morgan and say, you're on notice, boy. We're done. You want to enslave us. Don't say you care about the kids. This is about enslaving us under the UN treaties. And if you try to take our guns, 1776 will commence again, because that's what's going to happen. You think you're going to have some civil war and paint us as terrorists and you're just going to walk all over us, buddy? I'm calling you out and I'm marking you as an enemy if all this stuff goes down. You think you people are just going to pull some type of commie red care takeover and we're just going to sit here and take it? You think you're going to run Al-Qaeda and murder Christians worldwide and we're going to sit there and not speak out against it? You think we're just going to stand down? You think that we're just going to go along with all of this? If you think that, you've got another thing coming. And people say, man, this guy gets crazed. I am crazed. I know we're fighting tyrants. I know they're killers. We're breaking news about missing nuclear weapons, folks. You think this is fun? This is not a game. And people need to get that through their heads. But I have chosen not to be a coward. I have chosen to not crouch down and lick the hands that feed us. I don't want to be fed by the New World Order. The war has already begun. The globalists are exterminating innocent people from Africa to Latin America for UN carbon sinks, taking over their property to give it to big agribusiness. They are involved in forced sterilization, extermination programs worldwide. Of course they lie to you. Of course they put poison in your water. You've always been the globalist enemies, America. And the reason Americans haven't woken up sooner is they've been chemically lobotomizing us. We've been under chemical warfare. And so now I ask all the listeners out there this question. They're going to stage something. Will it be a fake assassination attempt on Obama? Will it be another big nerve gas attack they stage? Will it be launching medium-range missiles out of Syria at Israel saying that Assad did it? Will it be setting off an atomic bomb in a major U.S. city, a low-yield weapon, so they can bring in the whole martial law grid? Will it be going ahead and just invading and using that crisis as a political distraction? Will it be a mass shooting blamed on a militia group working with jihadists? I mean, we can see that script being pushed. We know what they're going to do. We know they're different avenues, they're different battle plans, because they war game those and they push those narratives out there so the public has already been acclimatized to it, so you'll buy the story when it happens. A self-fulfilling prophecy, a revelation of the method, an externalization of the hierarchy. A subconscious Stockholm syndrome stimuli to scare your subconscious that knows they're the ones behind it. When they get up there and tell these lies that are so obvious and admit the NSA spying on you and all this, they want to scare everybody so that everybody goes, oh my gosh, they are the terrorists. Oh my gosh, they do run Al-Qaeda. Oh my gosh, they are. Oh, we better shut up. We better keep our heads down. They might come get us. They're going to get everybody if we don't stand up against us. Okay? They're going to get everybody if we don't stand up against the New World Order. And we, the people, have to come together against this. The globalists are fundamentally against us. They're already putting sodium fluoride in the water. They're already putting the GMOs by design into the foods, the hidden viruses that have been identified, and all the rest of it. Just makes me sick. I mean, we are living in an absolute science fiction movie. And they are waging war on us, a tiny kleptocratic group that think they're playing God, that see the general public as a scourge that has infested the earth. And they are waging war on us. And so many yuppies out there think that there are too many people, so like you're part of the establishment because you tacitly buy into this whole thing and feel like you're a member of the establishment. That is not how this works. You have already been targeted. Many people out there listening to me are going to end up getting diagnosed with terminal cancer in the near future. Your neighbors, your friends, your family are, because we're under attack. They've already gotten a lot of us. They've already assaulted us over and over again through the water, through the food. That's what these cowards do. They don't stand up and fight us. They do it incrementally. They do it in the dark. They creep around. And they want to just tell us be calm and go back to sleep or be a member of the establishment, play ball. There's no playing ball with these exterminists. It's us or them. Let's go to this clip I was mentioning of Obama yesterday being asked by a reporter in Europe about his Peace Prize, which is such a sick joke now, which they knew full well what Obama was planning. It was just a continuation of the globalist takeover program, and that's part of the sick joke. War is peace. That's what this is. Let's go to the clip.
But what I also described was the challenge that all of us face when we believe in peace, but we confront a world that is full of violence and occasional evil.
War is peace. That's enough of him.
Becomes, what are our responsibilities?
Now remember, they think you're so dumb that they don't think that you know that they started the war with Syria, injecting rebels in they call activists. I saw CNN again yesterday call them protesters and activists with tanks and rocket launchers and anti-aircraft missiles. Okay, so I want to open the phones up now, and in the next hour we'll go to your phone calls. Do you think I'm right? This is a collapse in confidence in them? I mean, I know I'm right, but what's your take on that and how big this is, A? B, what do you think the false flag's going to be? Because there's no way. You can see it in their body language. You can see it. They're freaked out. They know the world sees exactly who they are. But they're still in control of the banking system. They're in control of the private Federal Reserve. They're in control of the infrastructure. They've got their media takeover systems in place. They've got paramilitary troops trained in every city to take on the American people. I mean, they are the global occupiers. They are the foreign banker takeover armies who wear our flag on their shoulder. They are the infiltrator. They are the enemy. They are the, Terminators. Might as well be space aliens or robots that look like us. Who come into our warren at night like in the first Terminator and open fire on us with a plasma ray. I mean, that's who they are. And that's how they see us. They're here to kill us. They're here to enslave us. They're here to wreck us. They're here to break up our families. That's not just rhetoric. These people are the plague. I had tried everything. I'd cut back the amount of food I was eating. I was lifting weights and jogging, but nothing was working. My body was literally starving for minerals and trace elements as well as key vitamins. And as soon as I had that, I immediately could eat half of what I was eating previously and be satisfied. Now, there are hundreds of great products at InfoWarsTeam.com, but I want to point out the 3 that have helped me lose 37 pounds in just 2 months. Products like Beyond Tangy Tangerine, Pollen Burst, and Rebound. When I started taking the Tangy Tangerine and other products every day, I lost more than 37 pounds in just 2 months. Now that's results. I want to challenge my listeners to go to InfoWarsTeam.com and to order just 3 of their products, and you will see the changes in the way you look, feel, and in your appetite almost immediately. Start your journey to health and wellness today. InfoWarsTeam.com. So right now, the foreign megabanks, the globalist crime syndicate, is planning the next false flag. Will it be another chemical attack? Will it be a nuke going off? Will it be firing missiles out of Syria? They control about half the country into Israel, blaming it on Assad. Will they machine gun people at the opening games of the NFL next week? I mean, there's a lot of stuff they could do. And I'll guarantee you they've got their teams in place. They've got their patsies in place who they're going to set up. They'll run it during a drill. They'll set up people who are in the drill, probably kill them in apprehending them, kill any cops that ask questions, claim the terrorists killed the cops, just like Boston. I've seen them run these programs over and over again so we can learn to love our Obama and do whatever the globalists say. They're in charge because they think we're animals. The globalists are in charge because they sit there and manipulate us. And you know what? We act like dumb animals. Well, guess what? We're not dumb animals, and we're waking up to what's going on, and we're upset about it. And we see the piles of steaming degeneracy that are the senators and others supporting war, and we know who they are. And now they've gone from not having the votes in the House to they might lose by 100 votes now, it's being reported. So then Obama says he'll go ahead with it. See, tyranny is like a juggernaut that has momentum. But once it goes into mud, and if it ever stops, folks, it ain't getting out. The New World Order has never stopped in the last 100 years or so. And always, if they start to stop, they'll stage something even bigger to get them out of it. So let me tell you, we're not winning this thing. We're in the fight, but we are winning the awakening. So I'd say your prayers today. And I'd call your friends and family and warn them about what's happening. I'd call everybody you know and tell them to tune into this show, whether it's on local AM and FM affiliates, whether it's on shortwave WWCR, whether you send people the link to Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.com, and the listen page at Infowars.com/show with all the free podcasts and video feeds and iPhone and Droid apps. I mean, people are ready to wake up right now. They've already woken up to a certain extent. Let's wake them up all the way. Let's take them all the way. Let's go all the way right now, ladies and gentlemen, before the next big event gets staged. And the globalists, they may not stage something. I'm about 80%, 90% they're going to stage something. They may be smart enough to understand they may need to back off. Because I think if they stage something, it's going to blow up in their face even bigger. Now, that may mean they win for a while, but down the road, another 10 or 20 moves, it's the end. This is our gambit against them, ladies and gentlemen, our sacrifice. I'm ready to be a gambit. To win the game, folks, you've got to be a gambit. You know what a gambit is? It's a sacrifice of a pawn or a lesser piece to win the overall war. 9/11 was a gambit by the globalists. Kill some of us to get us all to give up our rights, to have a fundamental transformation of the society. But people are now wise to all that. And they're going to get more and more wise as the days, weeks, and months progress. Because the human survival instinct will end up prevailing, ladies and gentlemen. God put it in us. It's going to defeat the globalists. I want to tell you about some of the sponsors that make the show possible. Very well-known, super high-quality product. It's what the professionals use, and you can get it for your car, your truck, or even industrial needs. PRIproducts.com. For fuel storage or fuel additives, an incredible line of products. Engine power will increase, will gain better performance. Your fuel will last longer. Your fuel gain 3-year shelf life, fuel system, engine deposits will be prevented, better gas mileage, PRIproducts.com, PRIproducts.com, and their patriots, PRIproducts.com. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, InfoWarsStore.com to get American Drug War 2. To get other films that we're the exclusive distributors of, like State of Mind, to get the incredible quality Pro-Pure gravity-fed filters, 10% off, promo code WATER, the lowest prices, the best. Quit drinking the globalist poison and support the broadcast. InfoWarsStore.com.
Now you can watch the InfoWars Nightly News streaming live as it happens for free.
Check it out at Infowars.com/show.